Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Milk Thistle podcast. My name is Kate and I will be your host today. I am coming to you from my back balcony where it is beautiful and sunny. Australia is lovely at this time of year. It has been kind of magnificent the last week or so. It's spring, so it's not too insanely hot. I think summer is going to be brutal this year, considering it's already hit 30 degrees, which is like mid-90s, I think, in Fahrenheit. But yeah, 30 degrees Celsius a couple of times this week. But the ocean is starting to warm up, and I luckily live near the coast, so anyway, tangent about the weather. But this is a podcast about knitting and fiber arts, basically. There's a little embroidery today, and I do sew and other things as well, but it's basically knitting and yarn love. So welcome. It's been about a month since I last recorded, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back. And if you are new, welcome. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Let's get into it. Today I'm going to chat to you about the things I've been working on for the last month, the things I've finished, things I'm still working on, some things I'm planning on starting, and also a little bit about my holiday at the end. So I have worked on quite a few socks in the last month. They're great travel knitting. We did a lot of driving on our trip, so because I knit most of my socks just plain vanilla socks, they're very easy to knit in the car. So I finished a couple of pairs. I finished a pair of socks. If you have watched my podcast before, you'll know that my boyfriend has been bugging me for these socks for ages. I started them maybe 4 or 5 months ago, and they are finally finished. I actually had to steal them off his feet. Goodness knows what he was doing wearing wool socks this morning in this weather, but he was, because he loves them. So I had to pull them off his feet to show them on the podcast. Luckily he hadn't had them on for that long, so don't worry, they're not dirty yet. But they are ARNE and Carlos for REGIA, and I mean the color is lovely. Reds and greens. I think they're almost Christmassy. They're very muted Christmas, and very earthy natural tones. But yeah, they're self-striping. I knit these on a combination of needles. I started on ADI Turbo sock rockets, I think that's what they're called, in 2mm, and then I swapped to higher sharp 9-inch circular needles, also 2mm, because I don't know, I bought the 9-inch circulars and I was interested to see what they came out like. They did change my tension ever so slightly, but not so drastically that it hindered the sock or harmed it in any way. But yeah, they're done. He can have them and keep them, and I'll never steal them off his feet again, I promise. I also finished a pair of socks. Sorry, I'll just pick them up and put them over here. That I was making for my mom. I have one on a sock blocker. So these are Knit Picks FELICI in the bubble color, and then the heels, toes, and cuffs are Knit Picks STROLL in the rouge color. I do have two. This one hasn't got its ends woven in yet, but it's okay because it's a Christmas present, so I have time. So I knit these on ADI Turbo sock rockets, also 2mm needles, and there's 64 stitches around with a 1x1 rib at the top, and then at the color change I just did a slip stitch every 4th stitch, and apart from that they're just plain stockinette the whole way down. I'm so excited to have these to be able to give to my mom. She's not getting them before Christmas. I know she would like them, but they're going in her Christmas present. So, yeah, they're lovely, lovely and soft. I know that there are mixed reviews on Knit Picks FELICI. I don't have a problem with it. It's kind of a workhorse yarn. It doesn't feel like an overly natural wool. Obviously it's superwash it's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, and you can definitely feel that it is superwash and that it contains nylon, but that doesn't bother me for a sock that is going to be hopefully used a whole bunch. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's nice. Some of the color changes are not as smooth as they could be, but it's an inexpensive commercially produced yarn that I didn't have overly high expectations of to begin with, so I'm not so stressed that it's not perfect. Yeah, I do like knitting with it though. It's super easy to work with, and self-striping yarn always keeps me going on socks. The third pair of socks that I've finished since I last saw you are these ones, and these are for myself. Hopefully you can see them and they're not getting too blown out. This was a wool that I dyed myself, and it has, I don't know if you can see it, it's got bronze stellina in it. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. It's pretty bright here. But I really liked it. It's my first time working with stellina, and I think they make for some really fun socks. This is also knit on a 2mm needle. These ones were on the Addies too. So it's an 80% superwash merino, 15 nylon, 5% bronze stellina. Like I said, I dyed it myself the night before we left for our trip. I dyed up a whole bunch of wool. And I really enjoy the way the colors play with each other. The pattern is the Simple Skip Socks by ADRIENNE, and it's a free pattern that you can get on Ravelry, and they fit really nicely because they are ribbed, but it is a slightly more decorative rib. So they were really enjoyable to knit. I didn't want to put them down. And yeah, it's kind of fun. That's the first thing I've knit using wool that I've dyed myself, I think. Yeah, so that was quite enjoyable. So those are all the socks that I finished since I last saw you. These are the socks that I have cast on. I have two pairs. One is, please excuse the strands coming off. This is one of them. So this is a plain vanilla sock. I just put a tiny bit of pink on the very top. It's a 1x1 rib, and then just a plain stockinette. I put in a Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I'm just working on the foot now. This is the first sock in this set. So this wool is the main color, this beautiful speckled cream with flecks of bright pink and brown and ever so slightly just the occasional tint of a vibrant blue, is called Teacup, and it is by Hedgehog Fibers in their sock base. This top color is also Hedgehog Fibers, and that is called Jelly. Now this is what I knit my doodler out of. I didn't complete my doodler. It's a dudette, but this was my main color, and then this was the color. If you've seen the doodler, it's a pattern by Stephen West. It was his mystery knit along last year, and kind of looks like a butterfly wing with beautiful thick cable, like a beautiful thick cable that runs along the side is where I got up to, and so my cable is in the bright pink. But this is knitting up so beautifully as a sock. In the Doodler is obviously a shawl, and so knit on larger needles, and is very airy, and it's in garter stitch, and I wasn't expecting this sock to be as lovely as it is. It's very soft, and it's a nice dense squishy fabric that I'm getting, which I'm very, very happy with. So I'm not sure, I'm kind of making it up as I go along. I have, this is my bowl of the teacup color, so you can kind of see all the little colors in there. This is my little ball of jelly, which is pink. And then I also have this little ball, which is not hedgehog. It is the WOOLBARN, and this is in their strong sock base, and the color is graphite. This is what's left over from the socks that I made my dad for Father's Day. And I was thinking that these three colors look pretty cute together, so I'm going to incorporate that somehow into the sock. They won't necessarily match, the colors will be the same, but I'm playing around. They may be for me, they may be for someone else, but I haven't decided. I just liked them and I cast them on. So these ones I am knitting on carbons, 2mm, that's a US size 0, and this is on a 40-inch cord. And this wool, the Hedgehog Fibers sock base, is quite splitty, and I have cast on socks with it before and not enjoyed knitting it, but I didn't cast them on with carbons, and I'm finding this combination really enjoyable. I'm sorry if you can hear panting. My puglet has been for a run, and he's just decided to come sit right by me. Hopefully you can't hear him panting. It's not very appealing, but he is a very sweet puppy, so maybe I'll call him over in a bit and he can come say hi. But yeah, so these are my Hedgehog Fiber socks that I'm working on. And I have another pair of socks that I have cast on recently. These are living in my Fringe Supply Co. field bag, which I love. And I'm actually, okay, I'll talk about the socks first, because I'm actually using, they have, I don't know if you know, if you've seen one of these bags before, but inside they have little eyelets on one of the pockets, and I am actually using those eyelets because I am attempting to do 2 at a time socks. I've started. I'm not so into it. I will keep going, just because I want to try to make at least one pair before I completely give up on it. But I'm finding it very, not slow, maybe slow. I'm not enjoying it as much as I usually do, knitting just a plain vanilla sock. But I mean, I've only just done the rib, so I'm gonna get into the, you know, the meaty, that's awful. I'm gonna get into the middle section of the sock. I haven't decided what kind of socks these are gonna be yet. They may be vanilla. They are knit out of Knit Picks FELICI as well, so I may do them the same as Mom's with the little slips at the color changes, because I think that looks really cute. But I haven't even got that far that I need to make that decision yet. So this is Knit Picks FELICI in the Ever After color. So it's a dark blue, dark purple, mauvey pink, a very, very pale mauve pink, and a teal green blue. So that is what I am knitting. these socks out of, and the heels, toes and cuffs are just in Stroll, Knit Pick Stroll in a purple color. I'm sorry, I don't know where I put the ball band for it, so I don't know the name. But yeah, they're just, I'm basically gift knitting at the moment with socks, apart from the hedgehog ones, which will more than likely be mine. But yeah, I don't know who they're for. I don't know what they're gonna look like. I just thought I should try knitting 2 at a time socks because I've heard such good things about them, and that it speeds up the process and there's no second sock syndrome and all that jazz. But I'm giving them a go. Oh, I'm knitting these on 2mm ADDI lace needles. So I don't know if you can see, but they have quite a sharp little point to them. And they're beautiful and gold. I love gold. Yeah. I like the needles. Maybe I'll just take one sock off and knit them 1 at a time. But I will give it my best effort. So since I last saw you, which was a little while ago now, I have cast on and completed this project. It is a Campside shawl by Alicia Plummer. And it is washed and blocked and beautiful, and I love it. And it is swelteringly hot today, so I'll very quickly loosely dangle it. But it's, oh my goodness, this is 50% merino, 50% silk, so it is toasty warm. I knit this out of MADELINE TOSH silk merino, which, as I said, is 50% silk and 50% merino. It's a DK weight yarn, and I adore it. It is so soft and luxurious. I cast on this shawl as part of the Die Another Day podcast shawl along. So if you haven't seen the Die Another Day podcast, hopefully you have. It's hilarious. Amanda and Christina, who are, Amanda is the yarn enabler and Christina is the cozy knitter. They both dye yarn, have Etsy shops. They are hilarious. They're best friends. They bounce off each other and have such awesome banter and make me giggle every time I watch them. So I am taking part in their cal. This is the first cal that I have. It's the second cal I've taken part in, and it's the first one I've completed. So I'm quite excited. Like I said, this is the Campside shawl by Alicia Plummer, which Amanda, who is one of the hosts of the cal, is also knitting. Hers is in a beautiful dark denim blue, and mine's more of a light denim blue, so we're shawl twins. Unfortunately, they're in Canada, so it's a little far for me to go to hang out and be twins with Amanda, but this shawl is lovely. It's got this progression of sparse eyelets to more dense eyelets, and then this lovely 2x2 rib at the end. I'm sure you've all seen it. This pattern is a free pattern that Alicia Plummer released through the Pom Pom Mag, or Pom Pom magazine, and it's really lovely, quite large. It's going to be very warm, and I'm very excited to be able to use it. But at the moment I'm just enjoying the sunshine, so in the evenings the temperature's still dropping a little bit, so it's nice to wrap around your shoulders. But yeah, that's my finished shawl. So another thing that I've cast on since I last saw you is living in this awesome bag that I call it awesome, but I'm just proud of it. I made it myself. But it's a good size. It's a good sweater size, which is good because I'm keeping a sweater in it. I am making the Chuck sweater, which is a pattern by ANDI SATTERLUND. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see it. It's a beautiful cropped sweater or jumper with lovely cabling down the front. I was inspired by the vivacious and gorgeous KATI of Inside23. She has a podcast. She is English. She is sweet and kind and will brighten your day. If you haven't checked her out, go check her out. So I cast on that jumper after seeing it on her podcast. She's finished hers. It looks beautiful. But yeah, so it's the Chuck Sweater by ANDI SATTERLUND, and hopefully I'll be able to show you. So, oh, that just looks like a whole sea of black. I'm knitting it out of MALABRIGO Rios in their black colorway. So it is very dark. I'll see if you can see the cables. Oh, that's focusing. That's not too bad. Is that a... Sorry. There's like a little string dangling down. I will get this. Okay. So, actually the cables are showing up quite well. I'm about halfway through the second repeat of the main cable pattern. So it has running down the sides. Nope. The camera's really far away too. Let me wiggle. So this is the front. The knocking thing, sorry. The back is plain stockinette. But yeah, this may blow out the color, but at least you'll be able to see the stitches. So there is this plain cable that runs down the side, and then this lovely larger cable that runs up the middle. Hopefully that focuses. I couldn't see what I was doing because I was covering my face, but in editing, if it's not showing up, I will take a picture or take some better footage of it and show you that. But yeah, I'm so excited. It's beautiful. I have a lot of kind of high-waisted T-length skirts that I wear quite a bit, and most of them are in a grey or black base or would go with a black jumper, but I don't have a crop jumper, and longer jumpers just kind of bulge unappealingly over the top of the skirts because they are quite A-line. A-line, or I don't sew, so I'm not very good at describing, but they're quite a full skirt, so it's more than an A-line. It's I hope you know what I'm talking about. But I have quite a few of those skirts, and I'm making this jumper to go with them because it is cropped, and I don't own a cropped jumper, so that is why I went with black, because it's versatile and kind of goes with everything. I'm really, really enjoying knitting it. It's a different construction than the last jumper I made, and this is only the second one that I'm working on. So this one's top down, the other one I made was bottom up. So I'm excited to be using a new technique, and it's coming along beautifully and quite quickly. It's worsted weight, so it's quite speedy actually, even though I do have to concentrate quite a bit on the cables because this is my first kind of complex cable pattern. I've done 2 basic cables before, but nothing. This one kind of branches out and is really stunning. So I haven't done anything like that before. So I do have my little notebook that lives in my project bag, and I've got, I don't know if you can see that, which chart it's up to, sorry, which chart it is, what number row I'm up to on that chart, and then I tick it off when I've completed it. This is a super cute tiny little notebook that kind of got a little trashed on my holiday because I was knitting at the beach while we were fishing. And it started raining and my little book got a little wet. But that's okay. It still works and it's still keeping track of what row I'm up to and what's going on. So yeah, that is my Chuck sweater by ANDI SATTERLUND. I will keep you posted on how it's going because I'm very excited to have it. It's kind of crazy at the moment. I'm knitting a jumper. I have plans to cast on 2 more in the near future, and the weather here is glorious and warm, and I have no reason to wear a wool sweater or a wool jumper. So I don't mind. I enjoy knitting them. Sorry about the wind. I hope that's not too noisy. So that's all the knitting that I've been working on recently. And the only other thing that I am currently working on that's crafty is also kind of knitting related. I'm creating somewhere to keep all my circular needles, my fixed circular needle, well, and my interchangeable circular needles. Currently they're all in a big box, and so I decided to make something that could be folded up or could hang on a rod and store my needles basically. This might be a bit difficult to show, but I will do my best. So I wrote up kind of a pattern. I don't know if you can see that. So top row, it doesn't actually look like this anymore because I changed it as I was making it, but this is the general idea of what I was doing. These are little pockets where there are squares. There's some on the bottom as well. These lines here are little slots for my interchangeable needles, and there are some zip up pockets and different things like that. So I've sketched that up. How cute is this adorable ice cream book? I bought this, this is the back. I bought this at an ice cream store in San Francisco. I couldn't tell you what it's called. The ice cream was delicious. We got really lost walking there, and I was kind of unimpressed that it had taken us 45 minutes to get to this place that our friend said was just around the corner. And it was just around the corner from where we started, but they missed the turn, and anyway, it was very late at night and I really wanted ice cream. But the ice cream was delicious and I got a super cute book out of it. So, I don't know if you can see on the top of every page, there's tiny little ice creams too, which is adorable. So, now you've kind of got a general overview picture. I will do my best to show you where I'm up to. So I'm doing it on a calico base. I like calico. And canvas. So this is the base. There will be another stripe across the top, but I have sewn on the bottom portion. So this will have more divides on it, and this is where my interchangeable needles are going to be. As you come across, I've just edged it in this canvas that has a lovely pattern on it. This is a very light denim. So this is where the cords are going to be for my interchangeable needles, and I will have some kind of fastening hook button thing so they don't go flying. This is another little pouch, and I've put a zip up container. Yeah, just a little zip pouch here. Nothing overly fancy, just to keep notions and things. Now for the top row, this panel isn't finished or sewn on, but I decided to embroider on the labels of the size needles that would be going in it. Now I didn't use US sizes because I use millimeters when I'm looking for a needle. So I'm going to bunch them in millimeter groups. So all my 2, 2.5s, all that will be under 2, then 3 millimeters, 4 millimeter, and then I don't really have a lot of larger needles that aren't interchangeable. So this is my section for my fixed circulars. So we have my 2s, my 3s, my 4s, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I just have a little miscellaneous pile at the end. So like I said, this is calico. It's not an expensive project, but just one that I need for organizational purposes. I really like the number 4. I think the 4 is really cute. Yeah, so that will be flying needles. That will be across the top. That'll be the second row of pouches. And then obviously I'll put a backing on it. I'm going to make a what you call it, like a pathway, so I can stick a dowel through the top so it can be hung with some structure. And I want that dowel to be removable, so if I do want to travel with it, I'm going to make it that it will be a trifold. So I'll show you. I have, sorry, in my little basket. These are the cottons that I am using. Sorry, did I just create an earthquake? They're DMC, and this is color 799, and this is the heavier weight that I'm using. This is the lighter weight. This is DMC Pearl 12, color 794. It's that color there, if you can see that. So they're very, very similar. This one's a slightly heavier weight, but I thought they looked really beautiful with the light denim that I chose, and also with the calico. So these are the fabrics I picked. Obviously, calico is kind of calico. It's nothing fancy there. This is the denim, which is quite light, and I really liked the color. And then this is the printed canvas that so far I have just used on the very edging, but I wanted to make a feature of that somewhere else in the project. I'm thinking what will be the back or the outside, if you fold it up, I might decorate as well, or do a kind of patchwork something. I'm making it up as I go along, as I generally do. When I was at the fabric store picking that up, I also got this. This is a very heavy linen with tiny little polka dots. I don't know if you can see, they're very subtle. And I'm planning on making a project bag out of this. I like that this linen is sturdy by itself and doesn't need interfacing. I'm not planning on lining this bag. Yeah, so I'll let you know how that goes when I start it. So now I wanted to talk to you a little bit about projects that I am planning, and some things I picked up on my trip for those projects. I picked up a couple of patterns actually while I was in Melbourne. So Melbourne is the capital of Victoria, which is in the south of Australia, and they have some beautiful wool stores there, and I stopped by quite a number of them. But I picked up this pattern, which is the Grettir pattern. Anyway, it's by Jared Flood, and it is a men's pullover it's called a men and women's Icelandic pullovers. But yeah, so it's got this awesome colorwork yoke. This is going to be my boyfriend's Christmas present. He knows what it is because I wanted to make sure he liked it, so he picked the pattern. I gave him input on the colors and all that kind of stuff, so he's pretty excited. So the other pattern I bought is the Breton striped pullover, also by Jared Flood. This one will be from me. I'm very, very excited to make it. I purchased the wool for it. It is in Brooklyn Tweed Loft. These are the two colors. You see? Are they getting blown out? It's a bit better. So the natural or more cream color is called Thistle, and it is just that. It is a very natural neutral cream, and this is Faded Quilt. I think they look lovely together. I've got quite a color scheme going at the moment between my CAMPSIDE, my embroidery, this jumper which I will be casting on, and you can't see it but I'm wearing a white jumper and pale blue jeans. They're my colors. What can I say? They make me happy. So yes, Loft is 100% American wool. It is 275 yards of fingering weight yarn in a 50-gram ball. And I purchased enough of this to make the Breton? Anyway, this will be the next jumper I cast on for myself when I finish my chuck. I did actually pick up another pattern. I went a little Brooklyn Tweed wild on my trip. I picked up the pattern for the Stasis pullover as well, which I think is really beautiful. It requires the same amount of wool as the Breton and the same weight that this calls for Loft as well, and basically the same quantities of the contrasting colors and the main color. So I could technically make either, but I really think I want to make this one out of a white and dark navy, or a grey, a medium grey, and a black being the contrasting color. Yeah, I'll do it at some point, but it's really beautiful. And for my last Brooklyn Tweed purchase, I made a few. It has been a month, and it was really greedy, and I was on holidays. When you put it all here, I feel like such a little piglet. But a happy piglet. I'm like a piglet in mud or yarn. So I got my copy of Woolens, which is lovely. It's beautiful. I want to make so many things out of it. I have all the plans to make all the things out of here. So I definitely think there'll be a couple of Christmas presents started. Maybe people will get them for Easter. But yeah, so those were, oh no, I bought two more things. Aren't these gorgeous? So this I picked up in Tasmania, which Tasmania is the island state at the bottom of Australia, and it's spectacular. We spent 10 days there, and this is Tasmanian grown 100% alpaca. It is 98 grams and 8 ply for this one. So I would call this a sport weight, if that, a heavy fingering. And this is from the alpaca shop in Deloraine, Tasmania. The shop was awesome, and this is undyed, and the alpaca that it came from, his name was Sir Titus, and he must be the most gorgeous. I'm trying to put it in the shade so you can see it properly. Caramel colored alpaca. I also got this one, which is 4 ply. They're very similar weight, considering this one's a 4 ply and the other one's an 8 ply, but this is definitely a fingering weight. Also undyed, and this is from an alpaca whose name is Lady Elizabeth, and she is grey, and this is beautiful. So that is all I have in terms of knitting and making for this episode. I've been joined by a puppy. This is Rose. She says hi. Yeah, she's just curled up. She likes being in little nooks and she's miniature. When she rolls up into like a little puppy ball, she's like this big. She's really cute. So she's chilling next to me. Anyway, last episode, I spoke about wanting to do a giveaway. And I thought when I hit 150 subscribers that it'd be great. And I hit 150 subscribers. I didn't think it'd be so soon. Thank you guys so much for signing up to see what I'm up to. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So I am going to run the giveaway through Instagram. And basically you have to be a subscriber and follow my Instagram, and then there'll be a post that I'll put up there that you just comment on. And next time I podcast, I will draw a winner from those of you who have entered. But if you just head over to Instagram, there will be a picture of the prize, and the instructions on how to enter will be below. So if you have made it this far with me, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you found it enjoyable. There are amazing podcasts out there, so the fact that you've taken some time out of your day to hang out with me means so much to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please enter into the giveaway. I would love to share this prize with you. But yeah, thank you. So hopefully I will see you again in a week or two, more than likely 2 weeks. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to like or subscribe, or, you know, get in contact, say hi, open a dialogue. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and have an amazing day. Bye.